Veterans Day, and we've got a great American with us, serving as a corporal in the U.S. Army, and boy, he went through it all. It's been documented on Dancing with the Stars. J.R. Martinez is with us, and I like to call you the front runner. What's happening, front runner?
What's going on, man? Thank you.
I don't want to jinx
I got to
anything.
live up to that now. More pressure.
You're coming off a 60 out of 60.
I know, and the pressure is on. Like, how do you top that? Like, what do you do? I mean, we still have 2 weeks left, and this is when things really start to happen. You know, when you really get to see physically and mentally who's able to kind of withstand all the craziness. And now we have to dance 3 dances, which is crazy. So, but Karina's talented. She's an amazing choreographer, an amazing dancer, and I know she has some cool things up her sleeve that'll hopefully kind of put us at the top. Continue to be there.
How much dancing will you do this weekend?
Well, I'll be doing dancing all weekend. We did yesterday, Thursday, we did about almost 10 hours. And today we're probably going to do about 5 hours. So over the weekend, we'll probably do about, 15, 20 hours between Saturday and Sunday. And, yeah, it's intense, man. And that's one thing that, even myself as a contestant, and you hear it all the time from everyone that's been on the show, you don't really understand, what it takes to go through the show and what the show really does to you physically. But then the biggest surprise, I think, for a lot of people is mentally, because it's not just a dance competition. It's a popularity contest. So you have to do all the press. You have to do, all the shout-outs, all these things like that, just so people can continue to know who you are and vote for you and pull for you and tune in. So it's a lot of work.
That's why you're here with me on a Friday night,
That
baby.
is why I am here with you. But you know what? A lot of this stuff, man, doesn't feel like work, you know how it is. You get busy and you go off this adrenaline and you love it and you keep going with it. And so, first of all, thanks for having me on this special day, 11/11/11, and it's Veterans Day. And, for me, man, I want to use every platform that I have to be able to raise awareness for troops and for veterans, whether it's past, retired veterans, whether it's guys currently serving overseas, reservists, National Guard, whatever it may be. But most importantly, the wounded troops and the families. The families serve in a different capacity, and they go through a lot of things as well. So for me to raise awareness about post-traumatic stress disorder and a lot of the benefits that these guys don't have when they come home, and then at the same time being
getting back into the workplace.
Getting back into the workplace. That's probably one of the toughest things. I mean, you go to corporate America when you get out of the military and you say, hey, I want to work for your company. And the boss says, well, what did you do in the military? Well, I was 11 Bravo or 11 Charlie. And the boss is going to say, what the hell is that going to do for my company? So, it's teaching these guys how to find the right job for them and letting them know that, just because maybe you're wounded or just because you've experienced things, there is life after the uniform. And the biggest thing is to allow these guys to understand is that they're so used to being the troop for 365 days out of the year for however many years and however many tours, that when they come home is to allow them to understand that they don't have to be that 365 days out of the year. They can go back to being everyday people, but we have to teach them how to do that.
I think if you want to know how to celebrate Veterans Day or what to do on Veterans Day, if you're an employer and you're looking for people, I think is take a look at a vet.
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest things. I mean, unemployment ratio for troops is down. It's horrible. I mean, it's horrible throughout the whole country. But when it comes to our troops, it's sometimes in certain places it's 20% amongst vets, especially when you think about only 1% of our nation's population actually serve in our military. And then you think about 20% unemployment ratio. And it's because I was 19 years old when I was injured, and majority of the military, they're young guys, they're young women, and they're exposed to things, and they don't know how to comprehend those things. They don't know how to deal with them. They feel like they're alone. They feel guilt. They feel all these things, and so they kind of go in a different avenue. And it's important for us as Americans to understand that and say, you know what, we're going to step up. And so, that's one of the biggest things I try to tell employers, is like, look at my success. Look at what I've been able to do. My job is completely different than what a lot of other troops have done, but you give me an opportunity, and I'm going to want to excel at it. I'm going to want to prove to you and everyone that I deserve to be here amongst anyone else. And I don't want people to look at me just, vote for me just because I'm a veteran. Vote for me because of what I went through and what I've overcome. I want you to vote for me because I want you to say, damn, he's working his ass off, and he's a hell of a dancer.
Well,
so I
you
think
rolled
all
that
troops,
out nicely, dude.
Yeah.
You rolled it out nicely because in the beginning we say, wow. At the beginning everyone says, wow, look what this guy went through.
Yeah.
Boy, he wears his experience, and then you become a fantastic dancer. Now you're just incredibly light-footed and great on your feet.
I never thought, man, I'd go from doing the running man and the sprinkler to doing a slow waltz and a foxtrot. You know, that's completely different for me. So the next barbecue, next time I'm hanging out with friends, I'm going to be like, can you do this? And I'm going to bust out a samba or a rumba move or something. I'm going to...
Pasa doble?
Pasa doble, there it is. I'm going to be stomping all over the club.
Freestyle on the last night. If you make it, which I believe you will,
man.
the freestyle dance, you got to bring back everything you did throughout your trip. You got to bring back Running Man, a little sprinkler, a little everything.
28 years of everything is going to be thrown on that dance floor. And I want, if I make it there, we're already talking about some cool ideas and some interesting things to do. So it's going to be the last dance that really kind of helps push you over the edge, which, you know, 4 people, but the biggest competitor, Rob Kardashian, is coming. He's doing very well. He's doing well. He's progressed over the weeks, and Ricky Lake's doing amazing too. And Hope, and, you know, she's still there, and she's doing well too. So it's going to be tough, but I think, you know, if I continue to do what I've been doing, you know, the last few weeks of this competition, I think I'll be all right.
How bad you want it? You want it?
Oh, I want it, man. I think, you know, deep down, all of us want it. You know, everyone said, oh, you know, we wouldn't mind taking second place to J.R. Martinez, you know, contestants on the show. And I'm like, listen, don't play that game.
Don't play that.
Don't play that game. They're closet competitors, and I can see it in their eye. They want it just as bad as I do, because it's like the ultimate cherry on top. You know, it's the fact that, say, you know, I put all this hard work in, and getting great scores and being at the top of the leaderboard, you know, week to week is great. But it's like you want to be able to be amongst the elite on the show and say, I actually did it. You know, I actually won it. I actually got a perfect score. I actually won the whole competition. And, you know, it would be kind of sad if I went all this way and everyone was like, oh, my God, you did amazing. And I didn't win. So I have to bust my butt, man.
You do. And they sucker you. They sucker you into this because, you know, they don't ask you to spend 20 hours on a weekend. They just know that the competitive spirit takes over and that you will.
Exactly. Either you quit or you'll step up and say, I'm going to do it. It's one of the two. And that's great TV.
Break it down. Whatever they're paying you, break it down to how much you're putting in. Oh, it's minimum wage, man. You know? They know.
I heard you were rumors for season 14. Would you do it? Would you do it?
I don't know what I could. Well, I mean, it means I'd have to leave here after doing 2 television shows and a radio show and go dance for 5 hours. I think my wife would leave me. I got to choose marriage over that. 13 years and strong.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's tough, man, but it's a great show, and you know, I'm having a blast, and it's presented a lot of opportunities for me to just be able to do things outside of this. You know, I was named the Grand Marshal of the 2012 Tournament of Roses Parade, which, in my mind, being, you know, a football fan, I was like, oh, I'm stoked. I get to flip the coin at the Rose Bowl game. But then when I saw all the past Grand Marshals, I thought to myself, like, holy hell, like, this is serious business.